Welcome, guys. I have with me here Ronnie Putnam, that has trained and been with the gym for how long now?
8 years.
8 years. When did you first meet the gym, and how did you come in contact with Chad?
So that's a funny story. So that was back when he was at the mall, and my wife, we've been married for about 6 months. She said she was working at Bath and Body, and she walked down, and I get a phone call saying, "Babe, you're not gonna believe it. There's people grappling in here." And I'm like, one, I love you because you just said grappling, and two, that's like, who does that in Effingham? I just see it on TV. I see it, or I was a fan of UFC. I like watching the fights, but was not a fan of being hit in the face. So I was like, jiu-jitsu, that's what I want to do. So I trained in my garage and thought I was a badass. And
most people do.
Yeah. And then she said, "Hey, there's these guys. They're training jiu-jitsu here. They're grappling. You should come in and try it." I was like, "Yes." So I came in and I said, "I'll try it," and got matched up with a 300-pound dude, and he beat the living dog shit out of me, and I was like, "Okay, I'm hooked."
Nice. So if you had to pick between, let's say, gi or no gi, which one would you prefer to do and why?
I like gi, and the reason I like gi is it makes me think more. It makes me more cautious. I can get away with sloppy shit, and I can muscle through some stuff in no gi, or get nice and sweaty and slide right through stuff. You can't do that in gi. You gotta be super cognizant of everything you do, where your hand is, where your feet are, where your grip is. Do I need to keep this grip? Do I need to let this grip go? And that thinking process really got me, in a headspace where I can start really focusing on the little details. And when I can focus on the little details, I feel like I'm learning more. Like, well, little details not there, I'm just going to muscle through it and see what happens.
Right. It was kind of more like a chess match.
Yeah.
So to speak. That makes sense. If you had to pick a specific submission that you think is your favorite, whether to watch somebody do it or to do it yourself, what would be your favorite submission?
I like the Darce choke, and I like the Darce choke for me to do it because I feel in a lot of control. So even if I don't get the finish and I got it wrapped up, I'm in control. I can hold that there as long as I want and figure out where my next step is. But actually, to watch, my favorite is to watch triangles. Someone throwing a triangle from a long ways away, a flying triangle, just a regular old triangle. I think that's from the bottom. I think that's one of the coolest chokes to hit, and one of the most. I don't get to do it as much because big guys throwing triangles on big guys just doesn't work.
Right.
It's doable, but it's tough.
Yes.
And the whole muscle through thing really rings true. But when I see the smaller guys throwing triangles, that's a lot of fun. I like that.
Awesome. Fantastic. So you said you've been doing jiu-jitsu approximately about 8 years, and what belt are you right now?
So I'm a purple belt with 2 stripes now. Just got my second stripe, and that's cool because we kind of came up through the belt system together. We got our blue belts at the same time. We got our purple belts at the same time. We've been getting striped at the same time. So it's really cool. And purple belt, I think, is. It hasn't seemed a whole lot different than blue belt to me, and I don't compete as much, so I don't really know the small intricacies, but I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I feel like getting up to that level has been pretty cool.
So is blue belt, purple belt about the same as far as like technique wise, and is there any real difference as far as like the people that you went against between like a purple belt and a blue belt?
No, I really, and especially in this gym, I have to fight everyone the exact same amount of hard, whether they're purple belt, black belt, white belt, I still got to fight hard to do anything with it. So I don't really feel like it's changed my game any from going from blue belt to purple belt, except for just a different color around my waist.
You think there's a lot of people out there that put too much emphasis on the collar of the belt rather than the person that's wearing the belt?
Absolutely, because I've gone up against white belts that'll beat me clean. I mean, just just roll through me. And I've gone against, you know, some upper belts that I can roll right through as well. So it's a style. It's almost like there's a difference between a pedigo purple belt and you know, a different purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I mean, they're different styles. It's an aggressiveness versus more of a laid back, and sometimes the aggressiveness will win, sometimes the technique will win out. So it really doesn't. The belt color doesn't matter. I got my purple belt, then went and competed. They put a blue belt against me, and he beat me. So it doesn't really matter.
Yep. So as far as doing competitions, you're more of the family man, right? You just kind of do it as a hobby to.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of doing jiu-jitsu for a hobby?
When I started doing jiu-jitsu, it was one, I liked it. Like I said, it was a connection to MMA without getting hit. So I was like, this is where I can have my connection to that. And then it became just like knowing that I could start doing more if I started losing some weight, and you know, make the experience better. So then it was a driving force behind weight loss. When I started jiu-jitsu, I was about 280 pounds, and I've been down to 190 pounds, you know, for competition, you know, and I yo-yo back and forth. I'm sitting around 230 now. But if I have a competition, if I want to compete, you know, I do like 1 or 2 a year, and I can focus on that.
Right.
And I have way more fun watching other people compete and coaching and watching people get better. When I teach a class and I see someone come in and struggle, and then the next class they come in and they worked on it, and whatever I taught them, they picked it up and they did it. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So you really enjoy the teaching aspect of it?
Teaching, coaching, just all around, just being around it. I love it.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, you got to have the competitors, and you got to have the people that's coaching and teaching those competitors to make them better. So I mean, there is a drive for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a cool school because I can come in and go to talk to one of the white belts or blue belts that just rolled right through me, and like, that was really good. But if you would have tweaked that a little bit, you would have beat my butt a little quicker.
Right.
And they'd be like, yeah, that sounds good. You know, everyone in here takes information in, and whether they use it or not is up to them, but they'll at least take it and listen to it. And that's such a cool place.
So do you think if we were to ask someone that doesn't really know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they think that it's all like this, 2 guys hugging it out, wrestling, do you think there's kind of a disconnect because they don't think of Jiu-Jitsu as a way to get in shape, or a way to, you know, expand their mind and to learn and to grow as an individual? Do you think there's a huge disconnect, and how can we get that disconnect for more of the people that don't want to compete and just want to come in for the family atmosphere?
Yeah, there is, because a lot of times when I say, why don't you come try a class, I gotta get in shape first. And that's not at all. I mean, you come to jiu-jitsu and you get into shape. You learn how to use your current shape for your style, and then if you do get into shape, then you can change, you know. I started, when I started, Chad, we played guard, 100%. There's no top game we didn't do. Takedown, you grab and you sit. That's it. That's all there is to it. That's what jiu-jitsu is. And, you know, I'm a huge guy trying to play guard and going inverted and stuff. And I'm like, that's not my style. I can't do that. So then I kind of took it upon myself to try to, you know, work a little bit more. And Chad would, like, you know, he'd watch some videos, I'd watch some videos, we'd look at them and decide, is this bullshit or is this going to work? I said, well, let's try it. And so we came up that way, but my game has changed like a bunch. Just, I would say from month to month, I do something different. Whether I'm going to wrestle, I'm going to do judo, I'm going to pull guard. I want to make sure I'm in top. I want to make sure I'm on bottom. It just changes so much. And that's a long way of me saying that you need to come in as soon as you have the inkling of I want to try, because it doesn't matter what shape you're in. We're going to work you into we're going to work your game around the shape you're currently in.
Right. And there's a huge difference in the way that people train for a competition, and the people that just want to come in and just enjoy a good workout, right?
Right. Yeah, it's so nice that you can come in and, you know, you will come in, we'll drill, we'll work, and I've been starting to do some more flow rolling and going nice and light and just working through stuff, because if you're going hard 100% of the time, you miss certain details, you know, you miss those little things. So you gotta slow down and drill some of that stuff to really work that in. And if you're first coming in and you're like, you know, I'm out of shape, I don't want to roll a whole bunch, that's fine. Roll as much as you want. Just make sure you roll, you know, because if you're not applying what you've learned into a live setting, then you're not really learning it. Right now, we have a good combination of drilling and then going, you know, live rolling. Because if you're not live rolling, you're not applying what you learn. And if you can't apply what you learn, you know, it's like doing homework. You can do homework all day long, but if you don't put it on a test and try it, you know, make in a setting where it's pass or fail, or in a setting where it's choke or be choked, then you don't learn how that works.
Yep. You said you're starting to get more into the teaching aspect. How has that changed or evolved your game personally?
Fundamental little details and being able to pick out and pick apart someone's game. So if I get someone in and I taught them, okay, we're doing a knee cut, and they try to do this knee cut and they fail and they fail and they fail. I'm looking at where they're putting their hands, where their body's moving, so I can help them figure out exactly how to move their body. Right. And explain to them how to do that. So I'm constantly studying people to see how they're moving their body. So now when I roll against someone, I'm doing that. I'm analyzing while I'm rolling. Where's he putting his hand? He's constantly putting his hand there. I can take advantage of that. So I think it's improved my game a ton. It's almost like breaking down film, but in a live setting.
When or if there is a time for a person to be a coach or a mentor or a teacher in jiu-jitsu, when do you think that should happen?
You should start teaching as soon as you learn something. I feel like if you know how to do a move and you know it decently, and you see someone struggling, absolutely go over and help them. You know, as much as help as they want to accept. You know, there's some people that want to go through it and learn it on their own, and that's fine. But if you see someone struggling and they ask for help, or you know that you can help, you can give them a few hints. I mean, like within the first couple of weeks, you can pick up on some stuff, and you can look at a video on Instagram or on YouTube and bring it in and say, hey, or like I tell students all the time, if you see a video you think looks cool, bring it to me, and then we'll work it. You know, that's a form of teaching. You might be teaching me something, right? Hey, I found this video, it's awesome. What do you think? And I can look at it like, that's horseshit. Or I can look at it like, nope, let's try that. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. If you guys are ever interested in training jiu-jitsu, we have multiple locations. We've got the one here in Effingham, we've got the one in Terre Haute, we have the one in Mattoon with Tommy Butler. We've also got the one north, what town is that, with Michael?
Loiqua?
Macomb. We do have the one in Macomb with Michael Field. And then we do have our new location, which myself and Michael Karras is teaching some new classes up there. So if you guys are ever thinking about joining jiu-jitsu, now is the time to join. Jump in now rather than later. Appreciate you joining us today, Ronnie. Anything that you would like to leave the audience with the last few words?
Just get out. Anything that you want to do, just get out and try it. I mean, it doesn't hurt at all if you try it. You have an inkling to do jiu-jitsu, come and try it. You have an inkling to do MMA, start with jiu-jitsu.
Awesome. We appreciate it, guys. We'll see you next time.